As part of this mission, we are asking American taxpayers to fund the world's greatest military. We're asking mothers and fathers across America to trust us with their most precious resource, their sons and daughters. And we will honor their trust and their sacrifice.
Yeah, when world's greatest military is code for imperialist army manipulated by imperialist empire with insatiable appetite for power and expansion, and most precious resources is code for your children, just turn the TV off. Normal people don't view their children as a resource, they view them as a gift. A gift is something precious that you cherish. A resource is something expendable that you use. You can call them a precious resource all you want, but when you're talking about signing them up to perish for profit, it's clear you don't actually think of them as precious. But I bet you think of yours as precious, which is why they'd never be the ones to get thrown into such a hell. You want us to trust you? Sign your kids up. Move your resources to the top of the resource pile. Get them outfitted and ready for whatever conflict may or may not occur. Something tells me that as soon as you could see them in the position of other people's kids, you would start doing everything in your power to make that conflict not occur. If a child is a resource, he or she is a resource for the parents to have some help with domestic chores and maintaining a reason to live. Not a resource for planet Earth's reigning regime of unjustified violence. Your recruiting efforts would probably work better if your soulless interior wasn't so transparent through your language.
Attention, player haters and overrated disbelievers of all kinds. I stand before you today 10 toes down as the bearer of bad news. Y'all done fucked up.
Alright, what's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail, more importantly, you saw the clip. DEI can't fight your war. With this situation, you have people who are, let's just say, MAGA and conservative, who are now talking like, yo, we don't want, I don't want my kids to go to this war for you, quote unquote oligarchs, the rich. Now, here's the thing. One, this isn't the first time that wealthy politicians have tried to create a war, been on the precipice of war, or maybe, for sure going to war, and have asked the rest of America to put their family and friends up while they have their kids frolicking along, right? Not going to war. This is something that's been going on forever and a day. Two, and let me go back to one. This is why people make the President Trump being a draft dodger statements. And few years back when people talked about Ted Nugent, crapping his pants so he didn't have to go to war in like the 60s or 70s. But as he got older, he was all, I'm a tough guy, that type of stuff. So that element, especially of white guys who talk a lot, who won't back it up, has existed for a very long time. So I say that to say, you people wanted to get rid of affirmative action and DEI and immigration and illegals and legals and and make the country great again and make it white again and yada yada yada, etc., etc. Well, now then they say let's go to war, and now who should be the first people to get up is all you big trash talking people who are all with the smoke per se when it was with everybody else. So, for all you, MAGA, pro-America, pro-war, whatever, it's time for you to pack your stuff up and go to war. And I said it to say this. People like Nick Fuentes is not going to go to war. Not going to happen. Not built like that. The vast majority of these guys online, who have like the Charlie Kirk type of demeanor, they're not finna pack their stuff up and go fight in the war. All of the white guys who've been hopping in U-Hauls and with their pseudo skinhead, neo-Nazi, KKK, rebrandings, they're not finna pack their stuff up and go to war. That's not who they are. All these guys who, all the Christian nationalists, not finna go. They're not about to, well, we gonna shoot somebody. That's not what they do. Especially on the front lines. Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I bring this up for the reason, for a real reason. Because let me back up. You know how not too long ago they were saying, the military has changed some of its standards and made it, harder for like black folks to meet those standards, So now you set it up so even in the military, if it ain't white, it ain't right. You better get closest to white as you can get in their standards to make it. So now you got to recruit white. And all the tough talk that all these generations of white folks and wannabe white folks, all that trash talk. Now it's time. You can get your Second Amendment. You can get your guns. You can, you can fight for the country and fight for freedom and yada yada yada. But you ain't finna do it. One, it's a BS cause, but most of y'all don't care about that. I ain't gonna say most. A lot of y'all don't care about that. Two, when I said earlier on the precipice of war, like Putin ain't really liking the situation, which brings another, part of the equation when, I thought Trump and Putin was supposed to be cool. He like, nah, we ain't that cool. So now you got to sign people up for war, and even the president has, I believe he has kids who are, eligible in age to go. So that's a whole nother thing. But all of these folks, who are all in these comments and talking all of this big stuff, a lot of y'all weak anyways, and y'all out of shape. Y'all have so much aggression. Go ahead and get yourself some PT. Get prepared to be boots on the ground. But y'all not. See, once that happens, all of these people are gonna go, hey man, I got flat feet. Oh, I got autism. Oh, I got PTSD. Oh, I can't, my dog just died. I just ain't in the mental headspace. All of the people who couldn't make who couldn't make it to being a police officer, who've been impersonating police. Some of you criminals that get caught. Y'all know, the military go, hey man, we'll wipe that off your record real quick if you just join. Y'all could all give it a shot. But see, when it comes to actually having to work, quote unquote, hard, or do something difficult, or be in a situation where people shooting back and they're ungoverned, you don't want that. You don't want that. But what you will do is have other people go, and then when they're done serving, y'all can meet up in the woods somewhere, and they can teach y'all the moves and the tactics. So when the big race war jumps off, you got prepared by Sergeant such and such. But when it comes down to the actual fighting, I don't want to do it. You know, y'all in the woods anyways, right? Training. Y'all over there practicing at doing paintball, and you're doing all these drills, and it's all these gun channels, you know, and everybody's ready. They so tough and they ready to shoot and they got it all together. Come on, man, sign up, man. But as oh snap, as it has been in American history, the people who talk the most trash are the first people to up and run. And this says a lot because all you J6s that are eligible, you got a chance to go ahead, go. See, all you patriots, all you freedom fighters, where you at? Even on the flip side, Antifa, where you at? Proud Boys, where you at? See, this when people go, oh, I got a sciatica. Oh, pull my hamstring. Oh, I got turf toe. But if you put a camera in front of them, they stone cold Steve Austin out this mother. You know, they out the. But when you say, hey man, here's a gun, man, people finna shoot at you. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. No, no. But you gotta remember, this is the situation that all your shenanigans set up anyways. You wanted it all right and all white. Now you gotta be the first in line to volunteer. And then all of a sudden, all of y'all gonna just David Copperfield disappear on people. David Blaine disappear on people. Here's a magic trick. We want racist Jim Crow America. We gotta fight for it. Well, I'll see you next year. Gotta go. It's BS. But I'm gonna leave it at that, man. Tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace.